Guitar tips, just the tips, just for you. Guitar tips. Hello and welcome to Guitar Tips. My name is Adam Levy, and this is my weekly video blog series. I post a brand new tip on this channel each and every Friday, and you may or may not be watching this on a Friday, but that's when they post, and that's what Guitar Tips is. It's just a little sort of nugget of guitar stuff to chew on over the weekend, and I hope you find these helpful and informative, and once in a while they're fun. Anyway, so here's the title of this week's guitar tip, which is Let's Demystify the Melodic Minor Scale. And this is part 3 in a series. Again, let's demystify the melodic minor scale. And this is part 3 in this series. Now, one thing that you will definitely want to go back and watch episodes, the previous 2 episodes to this one. And but one thing I don't think I've stopped to explain is exactly what the melodic minor scale is in jazz, because in classical music, classical era music, the melodic minor scale actually has 2 different versions. There's one when you're going up the scale, and there's a slightly different one when you're going down the scale. In jazz, we don't do that. We just use the ascending, the going up version. But if you're confused about why you would use 2 different versions of the scale, it is confusing. The example that I always use to illustrate the sound of that is a piece written by J.S. Bach, and it's from a suite that he wrote for solo lute. I don't happen to have a lute here, but I have my trusty ES330, and it'll do for now. And so it's in E minor, this piece, and the melody goes like this. And if you notice, when the melody is moving up, so it goes like this, that D sharp goes back up to E. B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Now the melody goes down, and we're going to use D natural and C natural. So the whole thing, if you actually play the piece as written, is something like this. Come on. Something like that. Classical guitar is not my thing usually, but anyway, you get the idea, hopefully. So that's how it's used in that. That's how the melodic minor scale is used in that context. In jazz or any jazz-related music, we don't do that. We just use the ascending, that sound. Oh, the Beatles used it. I just didn't even think of that. But in Yesterday, it's so that's another example. So going up and then going down. All right. So that's that sound. Now, getting back to how to use the modes and get all jazzy with it, please watch the prior 2 episodes to this one, and that will explain a lot. The third mode, which is the mode that we're doing this week, since this is part 3, let's use F sharp minor as our parent scale, and so that sounds like this. That's F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. Hold on, you might be thinking now, wait a minute, did he say E sharp? Why is it E sharp? Well, a real constant rule of scales, of any kind of 7-note traditional scale, is that each and every letter name must be represented once and only once in a scale. So you can't have a scale that's got F and F sharp in it, even though those are the notes that we played. There's two rules broken if we call that F and then go to F sharp. One is we're going F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, F, F sharp. One rule we've broken is that we haven't included any sort of E. And another rule that we've broken is that we've included two Fs. So every letter name must be represented once in a 7-note scale, and only once. So anyway, that's why that's E sharp and not F. So that's the scale. So if we go to the third mode, that's going to be starting on A, and that's going to sound like this. It's pretty weird. Not something that you're going to get to use on every gig you play, but let's just look at it for a sec, because it does have some real simple beauty to it. If we play A, B, and C sharp, that's kind of a nice sound. If we add the G sharp on top, or even F sharp on top, that's a real pretty A major kind of chord. Now it's got the major 7 on top, or you could have the 6 on top, and it's got a 2 and 3, and 6 and major 7, and it's a really pretty sound. We can make it Lydian by including that D sharp, and then we make it this third mode of melodic minor by putting in this sharp 5. So now I'm playing the notes A, B, E sharp, G sharp. So it's almost like there's some kind of diminished triad on top, or you could think of it as being kind of like a C sharp 7 chord with an A in the bass. So that's what I'm playing now. I'm playing C sharp dominant 7 over A, and that's the sound. Now, this doesn't appear in a lot of songs naturally. There's a John Scofield song that uses a chord like this. It's called The Beatles. You can find it online. The opening chord is a C major 7 sharp 5, which is basically an E triad over a C bass note. We're in a different key in the examples that we've been playing so far, but just that's the sound that we're talking about. It's a really neat song. You should check it out. Anyway, where this can come in handy, like what I want to say is, don't wait around to find a tune that has major 7 sharp 5 in it. You will wait a long time. But you can just throw this sound in anytime you have a major 7 chord and you want to kind of put some tension on it. That you can leave hanging, or you can resolve. That's pretty resolved. That's pretty tense. And what I'm doing here is I'm just alternating B triads and C sharp triads. Why? Why am I alternating B triads and C sharp triads? Why? Well, in last week's episode, I talked about this a little bit. If we go back to the parent scale, F sharp melodic minor, and we look at the triads built on the 4th degree and 5th degree, that's B major and C sharp major. You can do this with any of the modes. Find the triads, the major triads built on the 4th and 5th degrees, and then you can use them as harmonic sounds, as I'm doing now, making harmony out of it, or you could play melodically with it. But again, that sound is not going to come up a lot, but you could just imply it, like let's say you're doing a 2-5-1 in A. Let's say this is your chord progression. 2 bars of A. So I'm not going to play over that. And again, I'm just using this mode when we get to A. Over the 2-5, I'm just playing kind of typical 2-5 stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. I fell off the train there just at the end, but you get the idea. The trick is, try not to try not to leave things unresolved. If you end on the 6 or the major 7, sounds like you're just adding a little bit of tension and then letting it be pretty again. If you just stop on the sharp 5, you're really kind of forcing this chord, which could be cool depending on what you're trying to achieve. I even remember in Mick Goodrick's book, The Advancing Guitarist, he talks about this as a possible 5 chord. It's got so much tension to it that it kind of wants to go like 5-1. I don't know. I don't use this as a 5 chord. I mean, in lieu of a dominant chord, that is. Instead of going A7 to D, he's saying you could go A major 7 sharp 5 to D. Could work. I've done it. Gotten away with it. I think it was Andy Warhol that said art is what you can get away with. Anyway, that's the big idea. Again, you could go back and look at the previous 2 examples, previous 2 episodes, that is. There's a lot of kind of licks and vocabulary, and you could, of course, apply that stuff here. Let's see, am I doing that right? No, I'm not. There it is. Yeah. So check it out. Make some music with it. This, what can I say? This guitar tip may be, there's a lot of room for you to do it yourself, and I hope that you will. For guitar tips, I'm Adam Levy. let's demystify the melodic minor scale, okay? Seems like a good idea. It's about time. Let's demystify the melodic minor scale in whatever ways that we can. Thanks to Martin Guitar Strings for their support. Thanks to you for your support. If you really love guitar tips, show your love by getting yourself a Guitar Tips t-shirt. There's some ordering information in the description down below. I'll be back next week with the fourth mode of melodic minor. Things are going to actually start to get really interesting next week. So do tune in. I'll be there. Meet you in the future. Stay tuned and take good care.